Welcome back to Hobby Jogger Elite and welcome to week 7 of marathon training. We are 7 weeks into our marathon build, and yeah, I'll admit it, we're working hard, we're pretty tired, but it's been really fulfilling, really interesting to see what running pretty much the highest mileage I have ever run on a consistent basis has been like, and how it influenced these workouts, these runs in general. Just sort of kind of like a science experiment for myself, building up to a November marathon during the second week of November. I appreciate all the support on the series thus far, whether it's been on YouTube, where we recently surpassed 500 subscribers, which I never ever expected when it came to sort of starting this channel, beginning to upload less than a year ago. The support and everything that this channel has brought in terms of this community has been extremely gratifying. So I cannot thank all of you enough for that. And, you know, the support on Strava, everything. Thank you so much for that. And I am eager to continue this journey with all of you, whether it's this marathon build or whatever else this channel holds for me and you in the near and far future. We are going to talk again about the build up to the marathon with week 7 of marathon training, which was an interesting one to say the least. I would say that springs and the beginning of fall are always kind of the same in their unpredictability when it comes to the Northeast, when it comes to Pennsylvania, which is where I live. It's either 85 to 90 degrees on a regular basis, or you're getting like 55-degree mornings, and you really don't know what you're gonna get on a week-to-week basis. It feels like you experience almost every season over the course of a week or a 2-week period when it comes to this time of year. And that was certainly the case when it came to this week of marathon training. Monday, a 7-mile run at 5:03 a.m. felt a little difficult, you know, getting out the door when it was still pitch dark. Had the headlamp out for this run, went to a close loop and ran loops until I knew I had to get back and get to the office. 7 miles, a little over 55 minutes of running, 7:56 average pace. Nice easy run to start the week. And then that afternoon, after coming home, got 4 more miles in to double and get up to 11 miles on the day. Did a similar thing the next day, got out for a run at 5:15 in the morning, got 6 miles in nice and early, and then another 4 miles for the afternoon on Tuesday to get to 10 miles on the day. Wanted to keep things nice and easy for those 2 days because I had a pretty big workout on Wednesday, as I typically do 2 pretty substantial quality sessions on a regular basis this marathon training block. Following that sort of like 2 quality session, Daniel's running formula plan has been really fun so far. Definitely allows for a bit more of a flexible schedule when it comes to training, when it comes to sort of working around whatever your obligations are. And I have found the workouts to be interesting. You know, there's a nice variety of different paces, whether you're working down at VO2 max, like interval pace type of stuff for some quicker, shorter reps, or a lot of the case when it comes to this plan is a lot of work in the threshold range. I would say even more so than the marathon range, which makes marathon pace, or what I am aiming for when it comes to what marathon pace feels like, what a marathon effort is, makes that feel a whole lot easier. So I've definitely appreciated that sort of preparation when it comes to this training plan. Wednesday, which will be the featured workout of the week, the second half of this video, it was 1 mile threshold, 6 by a K, 4 by 400. The weather was terrible in this run. It was a lot of puddle dodging, a lot of early morning commuter dodging, just like the worst conditions possible. Kind of as this workout ended, I wasn't necessarily the happiest with, you know, the paces and the times I was hitting for these Ks and these 400-meter repeats. But in hindsight, it was a very rough day condition-wise, and I think I did pretty good considering all of that. So you will see what that workout was all about, but totaled to just over 14 miles. This was supposed to be, I think, 15 or 16 miles worth of work for that day, but my calf felt a little tight towards the end of it. I think it was like my left calf or my left Achilles was feeling a little bit tight. I think I've definitely like pushed the Takumi Sen 9s to their distance limit when it comes to using them for the whole entire span of these longer workouts. So I think I'm pretty much hitting like the long workout limit when it comes to using that shoe, but I still do really like it when it comes to, hitting some of those faster paces for those shorter intervals. So Wednesday, quite an interesting day when it came to that workout. Followed it up on Thursday with a much nicer weather day. It was nice and cool. Thursday morning, only about 60 degrees out. It was absolutely perfect. And I got in a nice medium long run at a pretty easy effort the day after that workout. And yeah, just kind of sat in the 740s for pretty much that whole entire run. Friday, first day of September, hit an easy and strides type of run, 8 miles, a little over an hour of running at an average pace of 7:52. Really eased into this one and ended up working down into the 7:30s, a nice sort of easy rhythm. Had a pretty big long run workout the following day. Saturday, my longest run so far of this training block, a 22-mile long run workout, which was 4 miles easy, 4 miles threshold or threshold effort, 6 miles easy, 4 miles threshold effort again, and then 4 miles easy. So 4-4, 6-4, 4. This was going to be sort of my first attempt at a almost full fueling plan when it comes to what I'm trying to do for the marathon. I've been doing a lot of research on sort of like what my body type, along with my sort of sweat rate and what the marathon distance all combined will sort of warrant when it comes to supplementing myself with carbs, with fluids, and with sodium intake and general electrolyte intake. So I did some calculations. If you go over to Precision Fuel and Hydration, some people use their gels and they've kind of been all over the place, blowing up a little bit over the past year or so, but they have this really nice sort of nutrition calculator for what you would need based on how much you sweat, size, height, all that stuff, how long you expect to be running for, that kind of thing. And it gave me some different estimates, and most of mine are like medium to high levels of needs when it comes to needing more sodium, more fluid, more carbs, because I do tend to sweat a lot during the marathon and during running in general. So that means I need to put a lot more back into my body. So my plan for the marathon is a gel every 4 miles for the whole entire thing. So 6 total gels, 20 ounces, which will contain about 2 servings of Tailwind, which is I think about 700 milligrams of electrolytes, essentially trying to take on a lot of fuel. And this run was the most fuel I've ever taken on over the course of a long run without having any problems at all. And that was definitely confidence inspiring, because I am definitely someone who, not as much so like during the course of the actual race, but over the course of training in the past, has had like quite a few stomach blow-ups in the middle of long runs. This was the first time that, not even for a single second, taking in a lot of nutrition on a run, did I doubt that it was gonna work. I managed to get 5 gels in at a pretty quick pace, and I managed to get 30 ounces of fluid, and in total 800 calories, 180 grams of carbs, and well over 2,000 milligrams of sodium, and not a single issue when it came to stomach problems, which I am so grateful for. So I'm gonna try to replicate that on most of my long runs leading up to this marathon, so that I am super used to taking in that much nutrition. But nice and cool that morning. It was in the low to mid 50 degree Fahrenheit range at the beginning, and worked up to a little less than 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So a very cool morning for early September here in Pennsylvania. Ran this one in the Adios Pro 3, which I don't know if I'll be running my half marathon in, because I've put quite a few miles on that shoe at this point, and I don't know if it's quite as sharp as it was like, say, 50 or 60 miles ago when I had broken it in pretty well, but it still had quite a bit of life left. I still think it has quite a bit of life left, but I think I might have another option that we will talk about here in the near future when it comes to my half marathon towards the end of September. I think that will be my sort of like long run workout shoe of choice going forward here, just to sort of get the most out of training. And I noticed that my legs felt absolutely amazing after this long run, despite hitting some quicker paces than I'm used to on long run workouts. So opened up with 4 easy miles, 4 miles at a threshold-ish type of effort at 6:18 to sort of ease into it, and then 6:09, 6:03, 6:01, and then 6 straight easy miles that felt very cruisy in like the 7:30s, 7:20s. It's definitely quicker than it. If you sort of look back at first long run workouts I did, which was very similar to this, which was 3 miles threshold, 8 miles easy, and 2 miles threshold towards the end. My heart rate was lower for this. Everything was quicker. It just felt a lot better. And then once I got to that second 4 mile rep, I definitely was struggling getting my heart rate up to the point it needed to be, and like pumping my arms enough to sort of get down to what I really want out of a threshold type of effort. But I was encouraged by, being in the 6 teens in terms of pace, and my heart rate reflecting more of like a marathon effort than a threshold effort. So wasn't necessarily excited about how quick I was going at that point, but the effort was there, and I felt like I held it together for that whole entire run, and then closed it out with 4 easy miles for 22 total miles, about 2 hours, 38 minutes. Very long time to be on your feet and moving at a pretty decent clip. And felt really good during this long run, was very happy with that, and then followed it up on Sunday with an hour and 5 minute easy run, 7:57 average pace, kept the heart rate nice and low, kept the effort nice and easy to close out the week for another weekly mileage record, which I know I keep saying that I'm not trying to set a new weekly mileage record every week. I didn't envision approaching 90 miles at any point during this training block, but we might at some point. Who really knows? I do feel tired, but not to the point that it feels any different than it did in past marathon training blocks, where I was just always running on tired legs. Like, that's just kind of what marathon training is, and it doesn't feel any different this time. I feel like with the amount of strength training I'm doing, and strength and mobility and core and everything else to sort of supplement it, and really paying attention to my nutritional needs, I feel like I'm supporting it as best as I can. So got to 87 total miles on the week, 11 hours and 12 minutes of running, and a little over 2,600 feet of elevation gain. So it was a pretty big week of training, 2 pretty big workouts when it came to that featured workout of the week, which you'll see here in a few moments in that long run workout. We're not quite halfway done here, but we're feeling fit, we're feeling good. Here is the featured workout of the week. Good morning. It is the second to last day of August, which means it is still pretty dark late into the morning. It is currently 5:54 a.m. Got breakfast down, back to the original white bread, some honey, quick double shot of espresso, getting the system moving this morning because we have pretty long workout on deck. You are looking at 1 mile threshold, 6 by a K, 4 by 400, then another mile threshold. Getting in some pretty good speed work, which, I haven't done a ton of reps under a mile or 2 miles during this training block yet. Not looking too great out there. It's already 72 this morning, 76 degree real feel with 100% humidity. It's raining, it's humid, kind of glad that we got some shorter reps this morning. All right, we officially have daylight, but also quite a bit of rain on our hands. Rain is definitely making it feel much, much cooler. Feels a bit swampish otherwise, so part of me kind of hopes it keeps raining. This is the maiden voyage of the Insta360 Go 3 in the rain. I'm going to be getting about 3 miles of warm-up in before we do the 1 threshold mile, 6 by K, 4 by 400, 1 threshold mile. So should be out here for about 14-ish miles, maybe a tad under, maybe a tad more. About a mile into the warm-up here, things are very much so taking a turn for the worse. It is downpouring. I am soaked to the bone already. The wind is picking up. As long as we're not in storm territory, we won't have to abort this workout, because I have no interest in running in the thunder and lightning, but we can deal with rain. We can definitely deal with rain, but The Takumi Sen 9 seemed to be retaining a little bit of water for the most part, not a debilitating amount to run fast. So we'll see what the conditions are like by the time these 3 miles of warm-up are done. 3-mile warm-up officially done. Puddle dodging there. Came in around 6:01 for the threshold mile. Got about 3-minute jog between now and when the K-reps start. I'm gonna get a gel in my system because I'm being responsible about trying to practice fueling. Came out a little hot on that first one. About 3:31 for the first K. Got 2-minute rest. It's taken a lot of both physical and mental concentration to keep up the pace while going around sharp corners while it is soaking wet. So yeah, not the most convenient conditions for this type of thing, but it is what it is. Alright, K number 2. Couple ticks slow for that one. 3:34. Yeah, it feels fast. I feel like anything with all the training I've been doing, marathon pace and threshold, anything faster than threshold right now feels like I'm burning it, when in reality I'm really not. So man, it is a slow twitch muscle fiber type of day, am I right? Alright, K number 3. Coming right up. .331 again for rep number 3. I'm always consistently a little faster going clockwise rather than counterclockwise. So 3Ks down, 3 to go. Boy, this is tough. .329 for K number 4. Man, my heart rate's not even that high. Pretty much where it was during my 10K threshold. So I don't know if it's just this much harder to run fast, but I'll take the first sub 3:30 K of the workout. 4 down, 2 to go. Definitely getting warm. 15 seconds left in my rest. The sun has officially made an appearance. I'm already soaked in rain and sweat, so here comes K number 5. .331 for that one, and just one more K left before we got 400s. Humidity, you just can't really catch your breath quite the same, so it's a little drier outside. Alright, recover, finish this. 3:32 for the final K, so nice and consistent at the very least. Every K was somewhere between 5:38 mile pace and like 5:45 mile pace, so that's pretty much the interval pace prescribed from VDOT calculator from my VDOT score from Daniel's running formula, so not bad at all. From here, 4 more 400s. See if we can do them a little bit quicker. We're 2 400s into it. 121, 183. Hoping to keep up the pace. Definitely feeling the fatigue a little bit. Got 2 gels in the system, which is always tough on the stomach when you're doing this fast of work relative to what's fast for you. VO2 max or like very, very high-end stuff never mixes well with trying to swallow down a goo in the middle of the workout. So trying to train the gut to deal with that well while on the run, and so far so good. Had a couple tosses in there, but we're gonna fight through it. 2 more 400s. Four 400s are done and dusted. I think I went like 83, 81, 81, 82. So not too bad. I'm gonna skip the threshold bookend and instead just go right to my cool down miles. Feeling a little bit of tightness in my left calf. Don't want to exacerbate any issues that don't need to be. The bookend threshold miles weren't even in the plan to begin with. They were just sort of part of what I wanted to do because I've done them before and I like them, and doing this kind of work mixed with threshold just makes threshold seem a bit easier. So you're instead just going to move right to our shy of 3 mile cool down to 14 miles. So splits up on the screen here. Solid day overall. Definitely wish on a day like this that I had some sort of trail loop or a track, because it's just not fun dodging morning commuters in a neighborhood when you're trying to go fast like this, especially when that neighborhood is lots of undulating hills, rolling elevations. So we will catch up next time. Make sure to like and subscribe. Officially at 500 subs, and we're officially monetized on this channel. So if you're interested in offering any additional support, you can always give a super thanks or become a member of the channel, or just check out Strava, Instagram, other links in the description. So thanks again as always. See you next time. Peace.